He thought she was naive, but she proved to be genius who underestimates, pays the price. Emma was the kind of woman who lit up the house the moment she opened the door. Organized, gentle, warm. The kind who asks if you've eaten before she asks how your day was. She had that kind of energy that makes people feel at home, even when the home isn't theirs. Marcos, her husband, used to say he was too lucky, but he already said it while looking at his phone. In the first years, he really seemed in love. He brought flowers for no reason, made silly little surprises, laughed at her bad jokes, but slowly all of that faded, like paint bleaching in the sun. And Emma, she tried not to notice. Their routine was peaceful. Breakfast together, Emma taking care of the small artisanal candy shop she built from scratch, Marcos working a lot. So much that it felt like he lived in a different emotional time zone. He left early, came home late, and when he was home, he wasn't really there. Physically present, mentally, somewhere else. Emma compensated. She always compensated. Made his favorite meal, kept the house spotless, smiled even when he barely looked at her. Because that's what women like Emma did, right? They held on. They cared. They hoped their effort would be seen. And Emma? She thought life was too good. Almost perfect. Too perfect to be true. Spoiler. It was. But deep down, somewhere deep inside, she already felt it. That strange chill when he hung up the phone too quickly. That heavy silence when she asked about his day. That feeling she was competing for attention. With a ghost. It happened slowly. Like water dripping on a stone. You don't notice it the first day nor the second, but eventually the stone cracks. First came the extra work on Fridays. Then the strong perfume to go solve something at the bank. And the classic, he put a password on his phone and changed it faster than Wi-Fi passwords. When Emma asked, he gave her that fake smile and said, "Security, love." There were some hacking cases at work. Small things, but strange things. He said he was exhausted, yet he came home with perfectly styled hair and the face of someone who had just been laughing. He said he was drowning in work, yet his shirt had a suspicious golden shimmer. Glitter, really. And the best one day he said he was going to the bakery. He came back 2 hours later, without bread. Emma laughed. But that laugh of someone who knows something is wrong. She wasn't stupid, just trying not to see the obvious. Because seeing the obvious means having to act, and acting means destroying the illusion that everything is still okay. But then came the details she could no longer ignore. The smell of another woman's perfume on his neck. The lipstick stain on his collar he tried to scrub before coming in. The way he locked his screen even when going to the bathroom, and worst of all, the distance. He was there, but he wasn't. Slept beside her, but dreamed of someone else. Emma could feel it in her skin, in the silence, in the growing emptiness between them. So she stopped asking, stopped trying, and started observing. Because sometimes silence reveals more than 1,000 questions. The truth appeared in a way almost too dramatic to be a coincidence, as if the universe had decided, enough, she deserves to know. Marcos left to solve something urgent. Emma sat on the couch, grabbed a blanket, and heard the ping of his phone he had forgotten on the table. She looked at it, hesitated, picked it up. Notification. Love, I'm at the hotel. Room 214, come quick, I'm waiting. Emma froze for 3 seconds. On the 4th, she blinked. On the 5th, she was more lucid than ever. She opened the message, saw others, and the more she scrolled, the more surreal it became. It wasn't just messages. It was entire conversations, plans, dinners, laughs, intimacy, everything she thought she still had with him, he was giving to someone else. She realized his problem was never memory. It was excess creativity. He remembered every detail about his lover, or forgot Emma's birthday. Remembered to send "good morning beautiful" to another woman, but barely looked at her in the morning. Did it hurt? Of course. But the pain turned into clarity so quickly that even she was surprised. It was like all the puzzle pieces finally clicked into place. And the final image? Ugly, but real. Emma took a deep breath, placed the phone exactly where it was, and went to the kitchen to make tea. If her grandmother taught her anything, it was important decisions should never be made before breathing 3 times. She drank the tea slowly, looked out the window and smiled. Not out of happiness, but out of liberation. She finally had the truth, and with truth comes the power to choose what to do next. Emma cried for 2 minutes, which, let's be honest, is very little. Tears came fast, hot, heavy, but they stopped, because deep down she knew crying for someone who doesn't deserve you is a waste of water. She washed her face, looked in the mirror and said, "All right, Marcos, you want to play?" Then let's play properly. No screaming, no chaos, just strategy. Emma wasn't the type to break things or cause scenes. She was the type who plants, waters, and waits for the harvest. And this time she would harvest justice. But her way, silent, elegant, deadly. She grabbed a notebook and started writing. Not in a burst of anger, but with the coldness of someone building a business plan. Because in the end, that's what it was. A business. She had invested years. And now, she would make sure she left with profit. She listed every joint account, every shared asset, every password she knew, every contact she might need. She wasn't going to destroy his life, but she would make sure he understood the size of what he lost. As she wrote, she remembered all the times he minimized her dreams, all the times he said she was too sensitive, all the times he made her feel small. And she thought, never again. Emma wasn't naive. She'd only been patient. And patience, when it ends, becomes indifference. And indifference? It's the most powerful revenge there is. She knew exactly what to do. Every step calculated like a chess move. 1. Strategic silence. She didn't confront him, didn't fight, didn't send long texts. She let Marcos think he was in control. Routine went on as usual. Breakfast, a kiss on the cheek. Good luck at work, love. He thought he was safe. That she suspected nothing. Huge mistake. Men like Marcos feel powerful when they think they're deceiving someone. So she let him feel powerful, because the bigger the ego, the louder the crash. 2. Silent organization. She gathered documents, organized her store, separated her things, all without him noticing. She made copies of everything, bank statements, deeds, receipts. Saved all of it in an encrypted digital folder. She started moving money, not everything, just enough to protect herself. Opened a new account, saved part of the shop profits separately, because in war, the one with ammunition wins. She also spoke to a lawyer, discreetly. The lawyer heard everything and said, "You're going to come out of this very well." She smiled. "I know." 3. The social turnaround. Emma subtly told friends and family they were going through a delicate moment. No accusations, just silence, leaving room for him to slip up on his own. When people know something is wrong but don't know what, they start asking questions. And Marcos was terrible under pressure. She also made sure she looked impeccable. Hair done, went out more, posted photos smiling. Not to provoke, but to show she was fine. Nothing annoys a cheater more than seeing you live well without them. 4. The elegant exit the next day while he was with the lover. She left a simple note on the kitchen table. "Thank you for finally showing me who you are. Now I'm going to live who I am. Don't look for me. I already forgot you." And she left. 2 suitcases, important documents, her dignity intact. No drama, no exposure, no loss of class. The kind of revenge that hurts where it hurts most. His ego. He expected crying, despair, begging. What he found? Silence. And silence for someone who feeds on attention is torture. Marcos came home thinking he was rocking the double life, until he saw the tidy, silent house missing her things. He thought she had gone out. Then he saw the note. Read it once, twice, 3 times. And then it hit him. He tried calling. Voicemail. Texted. Seen. No reply. Went to her store. Closed. Sign saying, "Under renovation. Back soon." He looked for her family. No one knew where she was. Or rather, they did, but no one would tell him. Everyone already knew something happened, but no one knew exactly what, so of course, they asked him. And the more he tried explaining, the more guilty he looked. Because liars are like that, they get tangled in their own lies. And the lover? Oh, the lover. She found out he was married, that Emma wasn't the problematic ex, but the current dedicated wife. She was furious, not for Emma, but for being used. Dumped him the same week, by message, no explanation. Marcos was left alone. No Emma, no lover, no excuses. And for the first time he had to face what he had done, with no audience, no validation, just him and the emptiness he created. Best part? Emma didn't have to do anything. He destroyed himself. As she told her best friend laughing over wine, karma works full-time, and she never takes a vacation. Marcos lost everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The lover who blocked him everywhere. The wife, the only woman who ever truly loved him. His reputation in a small social circle, everyone knows everything. His stability, Emma legally took half of the assets. His image of honest, hardworking man. For the first time, he was alone with his own conscience. which honestly had never worked this hard in its life. He sent dozens of messages, then calls, then letters, even flowers which Emma returned unopened. He begged for forgiveness, said he had changed, that she was the love of his life. But Emma's genius revenge was exactly in not responding. He heard the echo of his own stupidity, and the more he talked to himself, the more pathetic he became. He tried using mutual friends to intercede, but everyone already knew, and no one felt sorry for him, because cheating isn't an accident, it's a choice, and he chose wrong. He started losing weight, stopped cleaning the house, drowned himself in work. Nothing helped, because he couldn't forget her face, her smile, the peace she brought, the peace he destroyed out of pure stupidity and ego. And the worst part, he knew she would never come back. Emma forgave mistakes, but betrayal? Betrayal is deliberate, conscious. She never forgave consciousness. One day he saw her on the street by chance. She was smiling, holding hands with a friend, entering a new cafe. He tried approaching. She looked at him, then looked away, as if he were invisible, as if he had never existed. That's when Marcos understood. He didn't lose just a woman. He lost the only person who ever believed in him, and that has no return. Emma rebuilt her life the way she always deserved. It wasn't easy. There were hard nights, moments of doubt, days when she almost texted him, almost gave in, but she didn't because she knew going back would mean betraying herself. Her store grew a lot. She invested everything she had saved, hired help, opened a second location. There was even a line outside. People didn't just go for the sweets, they went for her energy, her story, her strength. She started going out with friends, visiting family, smiling freely again. She went to therapy, healed her mind, learned to forgive not him but herself, for ignoring the signs, for giving too much, for losing herself trying to save someone who didn't want to be saved. She began traveling, alone, something she had never done. Beach trips, mountains, even backpacking across Europe. In each place, she found a little more of herself, with no need for validation, no need for approval, just being. Eventually she met someone, but with no rush, no fear, no repeating old patterns. Someone who looked at her the way Marcos never did. Someone who valued every detail, who genuinely asked about her day, who was present body, mind, and soul. When people asked about the divorce, she always said, "I didn't lose a partner. I gained a piece I should have charged extra for." And about Marcos, she simply laughed, not in anger, not in bitterness, but in relief, because she had escaped and saved herself, and proved to herself that she was much stronger than anyone imagined. In the end, he underestimated the wrong woman and paid the price, while she soared. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Stories We Tell, leave a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your support helps us keep creating stories about love, forgiveness, and second chances, because stories that touch the heart deserve to be told and remembered. Thank you for being here.